Abraham Lincoln once said, "The Republican Party is the ship, all else is the sea." The Republican Party, one of the two major political parties in the United States, was founded by Abraham Lincoln and some other important politicians in 1854. Known for its conservative values, the party traditionally supports limited government, free market policies, strong national defense, and individual freedoms. In this video, we want to bring to you a clear summary of the GOP's origins, but more importantly, its position in today's political landscape in the US. In case you didn't know, our goal on this channel is to provide all the information you need to get a clear foundational understanding of US politics and how the political system works, leading up to the presidential election date of November 5th. So, like and subscribe to follow more content. What is the Republican Party? The Republican Party, typically represented by the color red, is one of the two major political parties in the United States, alongside the Democratic Party, which is typically represented by the color blue. It has evolved significantly in terms of its ideology and political platform, shaping the US political landscape in numerous ways. While the party has adapted to changing social, economic, and political conditions over time, several core principles and characteristics continue to define the party's ideology. Over the years, it has attracted voters who prioritize fiscal conservatism, lower taxes, and a more restrained approach to government's intervention in social programs. The party's symbol is the elephant, and it is often referred to as the GOP, which stands for Grand Old Party. Republicans typically compete against the Democratic Party in US elections. Famous Republican nominees include Donald Trump, George W. Bush Jr., and Ronald Reagan. Historically speaking, the Republican Party was established in the mid-19th century, primarily as an anti-slavery party. Its early platform focused on opposing the expansion of slavery into new US territories, a stance that culminated in the election of Abraham Lincoln, the first Republican president in 1816. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his role in the abolition of slavery solidified the party's early identity as a force for unionism, civil rights, and economic modernization. In the 20th century, particularly after World War II, the Republican Party underwent a major transformation. The party shifted from its original base in the North to becoming the dominant political force in the South, especially after the Civil Rights Movement. This realignment marked a transition from the party's earlier focus on progressive policies to a more conservative stance, especially on issues related to government intervention, taxes, and social policies. Would you like to know more about the US election system and how the current electoral campaign is unfolding? Support us by clicking the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content. Core ideology and characteristics. Today, the Republican Party's ideology is shaped by several key principles, including conservatism, limited government, free market economics, and strong national defense. These principles influence the party's stance on a wide range of issues. Number 1. Limited government and federalism. A foundational belief of the modern Republican Party is that the government should have limited roles in the lives of citizens. This principle is grounded in the idea that individual freedoms and states' rights should be protected from federal overreaching. Republicans generally advocate for decentralization, with power concentrated more at the state and local levels than at the federal level. To clarify, the federal level relates to the national level across the whole country, and the state level refers to states on their local level. This belief in limited government is tied as opposition to large-scale government programs, regulations, and taxation. Number 2. Free market economics. The Republican Party strongly supports free market principles, believing that a market-driven economy promotes innovation, economic growth, and individual prosperity. Republicans advocate for policies that encourage competition, reduce regulation on business, and lower taxes. The party often argues that lower taxes and deregulation stimulate job creation and economic development, benefiting all Americans. Number 3. Fiscal conservatism. Fiscal responsibility, or financial responsibility, is another core tenet of the Republican ideology. The party typically prioritizes reducing government spending, balancing the federal budget, and opposing deficit spending. Republicans advocate for cutting non-essential government programs and entitlements, and are generally skeptical of large social welfare systems. They argue that high levels of government spending and national debt threaten economic stability and individual financial independence. Number 4. Social conservatism. Social conservatism is a significant characteristic of the Republican Party's platform, particularly in recent decades. Republicans tend to take traditional positions on issues such as marriage, family values, and religious freedom. Many Republicans oppose abortion, favoring pro-life policies that restrict access to abortion services. The party also supports the right to bear arms and typically strongly believe in the Second Amendment, advocating for fewer restrictions on gun ownership. Number 5. Strong national defense. National security and defense are central to Republican ideology. The party supports maintaining a strong military presence and asserts that the US must be capable of defending its interests both domestically and internationally. Republicans often argue that a robust defense system helps maintain global stability and deters threats from hostile nations or non-state actors, such as terrorist organizations. Number 6. Immigration and national sovereignty. The Republican Party generally favors strict immigration controls and policies that prioritize the security of national borders. In recent years, the party has advocated for reducing illegal immigration and imposing stronger restrictions on immigration policies. Many Republicans support building physical barriers, such as a wall along the US-Mexico border, to reduce unauthorized immigration. We've also assembled a list of some pretty interesting facts about the Republican Party. Anti-slavery origins. Founded in 1854 as an anti-slavery party, the GOP's early platform opposed the expansion of slavery, but today faces criticism for its racial policies. The Reconstruction era. Republicans led the post-Civil War Reconstruction, passing key civil rights amendments, but later compromised, allowing racial segregation laws in the South. The first female senator. Republican Rebecca Latimer Felton became the first female U.S. senator, but her legacy is marred by her support for white supremacy. Early environmentalism. Republican leaders like Theodore Roosevelt championed conservation, but the party has since faced criticism for opposing environmental regulations. Tax cut focus. The party advocates tax cuts to stimulate the economy, but critics argue this benefits the wealthy and increases financial inequality. Trump's populism. Donald Trump's presidency shifted the GOP towards populism and nationalism, sparking deep political and social division. Gun rights. The GOP defends Second Amendment rights, opposing gun control measures, which has been controversial amid rising gun violence. Today, the Republican Party remains a powerful force in US politics, led by none other than Donald Trump. It advocates for conservative policies focused on limited government, lower taxes, and individual freedoms. While its core values have remained somewhat consistent, the party has evolved in response to modern issues, with figures like Donald Trump shaping its recent direction. So that wraps it up for our video on the Republican Party. Stay tuned to our channel as we'll be uploading weekly videos leading up to the election date on the 5th of November this year.